Today's episode comes to you straight from the Foundation Insurance Services podcast studio, your home for elevating voices, inspiring leaders, and building the community one conversation at a time. If you're enjoying the journey, we'd love for you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps these stories reach even higher.
I was a busboy. I was just doing dishes, running the dishwasher and, busting tables. And it's like, I've never seen anybody have so much fun busting tables and washing dishes. If I'm going to do it, have fun at it.
Hey there, welcome back to Above and Beyond, where excellence meets elevation. I'm your host, Jan Simon, and this season we're raising the bar, diving into the passion, purpose, and defining moments of leaders who don't just aim high, they live there. Big ideas, real stories. Let's get into it. Today, we have Steve Alexander. He's known for his engaging presence, authentic leadership, and a personal motto that says it all. I'd rather take years off my life than take life off my ears. A passionate golfer, former bowler, and dedicated cigar enthusiast, Steve brings curiosity, energy, and real conversation wherever he goes. With over 20 years of experience in operations and talent leadership across industries like healthcare, manufacturing, retail, and hospitality, Steve currently serves as a talent acquisition relationship manager for TE Connectivity. He's also the co-founder of Recruiter Pro 360, a boutique recruiting firm built on high-touch relationships and scalable talent solutions. Grounded, experienced, and refreshingly real, Steve's perspective truly resonates. Welcome to the podcast.
Carry around with me just to intro me.
Yeah, right? We'll just start it out. So, how are you doing?
Doing well.
Good. Well, I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you taking the time and being subject to my line of questioning.
All right.
So, let's start with the early years, as we do on all of our podcasts. Tell me about young Steve. Where'd you grow up?
I was in East Texas. Before I got here 8 years ago, I was East Texas my whole life.
Okay.
And so born in Sulphur Springs, Texas. So I thought that was really east. Then we got even more northeast to a little town called Detroit, Texas. And I usually have to say what's around it because not many people.
I was going to say, is that like Houston area or is it further east?
Oh, it's
North and east?
Northeast of Dallas even. So right up on the river, right up on the Red River corner of the state.
Almost by Louisiana then.
Yes. Pretty
Okay.
close. Yep, get over there. And so I say that's, where I grew up because I started there 6th grade.
Oh, wow.
7th grade.
Okay.
And went through high school there. So it was my formative years, I guess I'll call them.
Okay. So because we had Mike Uper on the podcast and he grew up in Louisiana, in New Orleans area, how do you say B-O-I-L?
Boyle.
Boyle.
Bowl. I usually
Bowl.
say. It
Okay.
almost smells like you would think if you saw it spelled like I say it, you'd think it was bull.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because every time Mike says it, he's like, yeah, it's that crawfish bowl.
Yeah, right.
Bowl.
Right.
So anyways, I just was wondering. So you grew up in Northeast Texas. Family? Brothers, sisters?
Yeah. So I have two half sisters and a half brother. Got a brother and a sister, and several steps.
Oh, wow.
But really growing up, I grew up with my younger brother, a little bit of one of my older sisters, and a stepbrother. Really for growing up wise.
Okay.
Everybody gets along. There's nothing like that.
Yeah.
But growing up in the house, my younger brother and I were the type when we were always together.
Okay.
My parents went through divorce, and we
Yeah.
both moved with mom at times, dad, So,
Gotcha.
But it's really, as far as who I grew up with,
Uh-huh.
my little brother and my stepbrother.
Gotcha. As you were growing up, what am I trying to ask? I have like 4 questions just run through my head all at the same time. With regards to growing up as a young child, obviously your parents went through divorce, so it's kind of jumping back and forth. Were you into sports, more playing around with the neighbor kids, out hunting? What was it that drove you during your younger years?
Sports and hunting.
Okay.
My dad coon hunted, raised Walker coonhounds, and so did that with him some. And with where we lived, a heavy deer populated county,
Okay.
so deer hunted. But sports, in a small town, like I say, Detroit, Texas, literally you hear people talk about a place where there's more cows than people.
Yeah.
It was that for sure.
Okay.
I graduated with 19 people.
Oh, wow.
In my graduating class. At that time, the city limit sign said 351 people. And it's just a ranching community.
Okay.
And so, but you didn't get to play one sport because, I mean, there was times on the sideline there was just 13 football players.
Yeah.
So you played everything.
Yep.
Didn't say I was good at all of it. I mean, I gave tennis a try because we needed another tennis person.
You were better than some of the other kids at school.
Yeah, better than some of them, right? But, used to, they always ask, now they ask your percentage where you're at. Back then, when you're filling out college applications, you check a box if you're in your top 20. I got to check it every time.
Because you're like 19 kids. Yeah. That's funny. It's funny because I grew up I considered a very small town, but there was like 5,000 people. You ask my dad, he'll say there were 6,000. It's like, I don't think there were 6,000 in the entire county, but okay. But, depending on when the welfare checks, because it was a county seat, so it was like welfare checks were distributed, we'd have, more people in town than before and whatnot. But yeah, the small community, you have the opportunity to play multiple sports, but it's almost like if you're an athlete, it's kind of expected that we need warm blood. And I think, our high school football team, we might have had 25 kids, and they'd let the freshmen suit up with us just because we needed. Yeah,
we needed to show up with some kind of intimidation coming up with us, right?
Exactly.
They
may never play, but we need them to look like they're going to be out there. So, so what was the name of the town again?
Detroit.
Texas.
Not Detroit. It's Detroit.
Detroit.
Out there. Yeah.
Detroit.
Yeah, right.
Detroit, Texas. Friday Night Lights?
Oh, yeah. Big time. And it was my favorite sport, football. I love playing football. I was better at track.
Okay.
I was horrible at basketball, but I always gave it a try. We didn't have a baseball team until after I graduated. Like I say, I gave tennis the run, like I say, But Friday night was the thing, right?
Okay.
I mean, it's as true as you can't exaggerate Texas high school football. I know people can say it,
yeah.
Until you experience it, even the small school I was at, it's the thing.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Was there somebody in that time frame, like when you were going to school, growing up, playing sports as a young, we'll call it young child, that really had influence on you?
From the sports perspective?
Yeah.
My dad was way into sports.
Okay.
He was never forced to, you're going to play this, you're going to do that. But he was at everything. And, I when I give example of how Dad was in and at everything, I was running a track meet in Munster, Texas. And it was sleeting. I mean, it was so cold. And I ran the first of the day and the last day. So I ran the 2 mile and the mile, right? And I was running the 2 mile, and it was just sheets of ice falling, and we're still out there running track. And I couldn't run in leggings. A lot of people wore them. I had to be in shorts and a tank. Yeah. And there was no one around. And I was just, why am I out here?
Right.
You're starting to wonder, it's 8 laps, right? So, I'm on lap 5, and you're wondering, do I just stop? I don't think anybody would blame me for doing that right now. And then you didn't see anybody in the stands, but then I heard my dad holler, "Go, son, 3 to go." Yeah. And you heard that voice, and it was just, you're warm, and that's awesome. That's how he didn't miss anything.
That's awesome. That's really cool. After high school, did you go off to school, after college?
Yeah, I did. Went to junior college.
Okay.
And then I took some online classes other places, but I was going to, when I graduated high school, we were building in Texas, in Waxahachie, they were building a super collider. I was very, very into physics and nuclear physics especially. And so that's what I headed to college for.
Okay.
And then it got shut down.
Oh.
And, it's funny, I could still finish school. I finished with my associate, and then I was going to do a bachelor's, and then got to working, just doing life.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the college that I did do. Wish I'd have done the 2 more years.
Yeah. Did you do any sports or anything in college, or was it really just academics?
I gave it a try.
Okay.
I mean, I thought, the jump, I talk to people all the time about the jump from high school to college is crazy. I can't imagine what the next level is. But no, I thought I was pretty good till I got there.
Yeah.
And then I found out real quick I didn't have it in football to make that jump anyway. Yeah. What I should have done was going to take some of the track opportunities.
What's amazing to me, like having grown up in a small school, because I kind of felt the same thing, right? I was somebody until I was nobody type of thing. But I think about some of the high schools here and some of the kids, they focused on one sport since they were 5 years old or whatever it is. And then they get into high school and you watch them excel. And I think that's what's coming out of the system to go into just the next level, to get to college. And now all of a sudden that 4 years of college of the next level, whether it's, okay, we're going to increase your weight training, get you further along there, or whatever it is, that now all of a sudden it's like, I don't know, it just blows me away. And coming from a small school, feeling like I was a pretty decent athlete, and I still think I was a pretty decent athlete.
Right. Yeah.
But now I look at it and I think, I don't know.
Oh, I had the example in my house. That was the bad part, right? Because we never got to go to high school together. He was in 8th when I was in 12th, but much my younger brother, just a natural athlete. I had to work at everything. I had to work. Yeah. He, especially with basketball or baseball. I mean, he just had paid for 4 years of college playing basketball.
Oh, wow.
He was even better at baseball than basketball. He just wanted to play basketball.
Yeah.
And so he didn't have to be Steven's little brother too long. I became bigger.
Timmy's
brother.
big brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he had a lot of success.
Was there a time in those early years, we'll say through college, where you kind of realized that you had an internal determination to do better or be better than what was before you? Was there anything that kind of drove you through?
I don't remember not being driven. I really don't. Everything's 100%, and that's good and bad at times. Okay, so I'm not, but I guess when I got before I got to Detroit, I was in Sulphur Springs, which is it's a small town, but a lot larger than Detroit, right? Mm-hmm. And when I got there, it was a chance to do something different than I did in that big giant, what felt like a big giant school, right? And I just latched on, for whatever reason, to the science teacher. He was amazing, and he really helped me want to just be better at everything.
Yeah.
And like, I'm a love for science there. Small school, so
Yep.
he taught physics, he taught chemistry, he taught earth science,
Yeah,
he
yep.
taught everything. And so, I kind of attribute that 7th grade year and Jake Broadway.
Gotcha.
For that drive.
Yeah. Yeah. Did when you went to college, were you trying to do some science stuff at college too? Okay. And then what did you do? You said you started working, and then life kind of took on. So what happened?
Yeah. So like I was telling you, I was going. What I was my dream, got shut down. Mm-hmm. And I got to go there when they put the magnets in the ground.
Oh wow.
And because you're bending an electron around a mile long track.
That's crazy.
And so these magnets are the size of houses, and they're putting them in the grounds and laboratories under the ground.
Wow.
For that, and it's a prison now. But
really,
yeah. But
they put metal bracelets on their ankles so they just magnetize them.
Yeah. But I'm trying to remember the question. I got to talking there, and then went off road off the question there.
You high school, college, and then you said life kind of took over.
Oh yeah. And so while in college, I met what was my wife then. Okay, and you had to start working, had to pay some bills.
Yeah.
And then as you start working, you start making money that you think, oh, this is okay money to be making. Yeah. So I got into car lots, of all things, and started out working for a gentleman, and then at one point got to be a partner with someone, and then even tried on my own. And so, it's funny. I tell people, if I ever tell you I'm starting a business, just run for the hills, because I opened my first own business September 8, 2001.
Okay.
And we know what happened a few days later.
Yeah. Yep.
Economy shuts down everything, and I'm like,
3 days.
Yeah, right. 3 days. Yeah. And I'm sitting here, on a string now.
Wow,
nothing, and then nothing was coming in.
Yeah.
We established Recruiter Pro 360 November 1st of 2019.
Oh wow. Okay.
In the pandemic.
Yeah.
So if I ever say I'm opening something, just get out of the way.
Yeah.
Something's bad.
You do you. I'm
Right.
going this way.
Yeah. So got into that. It took me longer than many to figure out what I was going to do when I grew up.
Yeah.
And
do you figure that out?
Well,
you still trying.
I know what I'm doing now. So, but I don't think anybody ever says, when they're in high school figuring out what you're going to do, you're talking to your counselor. I don't think anybody says I'm going to be a recruiter.
Yeah. No.
And but it's a wonderful thing to do.
Yeah.
But I was hospitality industry for a while, restaurants. Mm-hmm. Like I say, I've had the car lots I was telling you about. I've ranched. I've bounced around a little bit before I got into recruiting, and it was a total accident. After I got out of one restaurant, I just saw something, and it was for Connex at the time, wound up being IBM later.
Okay.
And I was just going to get out of the restaurant world because I'd been in there long enough, and it's a beating. When you see I don't care if they're servers, I don't care if there's managers, bartenders. When you see these folks in the restaurant, just know it's a beating.
Yeah.
And it can be rewarding as well, but I mean, it's a beating. And I could either go back to school and just try to re-gear for something, or I could start ground level somewhere.
Yeah.
And so I saw that job for Connection for a background coordinator. I hadn't been in recruiting or anything like that. And she looked at my history. She looked at what I had been making, and she says, I don't have a job for you. I said, no, I want that one. You've got that job right there. And it was a huge pay cut.
Okay.
You know? And I told her then, I said, they're going to go spend a fortune to go back to college and retool.
Yeah.
I can start right here making a little less. And I said, I'll be on the other side of the building on your recruiting side you're talking about for too long. And she said, well, I need a background. I said, I'll be a background coordinator. And so it took about 6 months of that. I got moved over to be a recruiter. Then it was about 8 months after that I was managing it.
Oh, wow.
And so there's how recruiting came in. And like
Yeah.
I say, I just saw this was available.
When was that you got into there?
That would have been 2000, I want to say 5.
Okay. And what industries were you recruiting for?
At that time, so you had different groups in that company, okay?
Okay.
And they have something called RPO, which is Recruitment Process Outsourcing.
Okay.
So what that company did, they would go in and they just, for what I did, for United Health Group, you subcontract out their entire recruiting department. And so now, we looked like, smelled like, talked like United Health Group when we were on the phone. And so that's what I did there. But also, as you know, overflowed, helped do other things. It was a gamut. U.S. Steel, Ford Motor Company, so they were all clients.
Okay.
So it's been a mix. So
Yeah.
Probably more healthcare than anything until late.
Okay.
But now it's a lot of engineering.
Okay. And I think you dropped in there, if I caught it, your wife then.
Yes, I was married prior to, Tricia.
Yeah.
We've been together a little over 8 years now.
Okay.
Married 3.
Okay.
Prior to that, I was married for 25 years.
Okay. Kids with the first?
Yep.
Married?
We've got 6 together. I've got 2.
Okay.
And Tricia has 4.
Okay. They live here?
My 2 are in Texas.
Okay.
The other 4 are here. I'm going to mess this up probably, but I know 21 to I think 32.
Oh, wow.
But I get, I got 2 dates. I got Trisha's birthday and I got her anniversary. If I can get those down, all the other ones are bonus.
Well, I hate to say this. I got Christine's birthday down, but I forgot it this year. I didn't forget it. I remembered it up until the day.
Yeah, right.
And then it was like the plan fell out of my head, so it was not good. But grandkids?
We have 2 on the way. It'll make 6.
Wow.
So
Oh my gosh.
it's
That's crazy. That's awesome.
yeah. We had 25 was busy, and we've had some health issues within the family.
Okay.
But other than that, 2 weddings.
Wow.
Now 2 pregnancies. So
Boom, boom.
yeah. So as busy as 25 was, I'm sure 26 will be pretty busy too.
Be more, yeah.
Yeah.
And that'll give you the six grandkids.
Right. The 2, both girls.
So when you were in Texas, talk to me about the ranching stuff, because that kind of intrigues me.
Yeah, so we had a smaller, we called it ours, ranch-wise, but then we had a gentleman that I was friends with their family, and he came in and started buying everything up out there, right? And so he asked me to work on the ranch, and at that time I was actually living in Athens, Texas, as a youth and family pastor, and when I talked to him, because my wife was going to go through nursing school.
Okay.
I was trying to figure that out. Youth and families pastors in a small town didn't make much. And he gave me a nice offer, provided a house, provided a truck, a consolidation loan, everything.
Oh, wow.
And so that's when I got in. It was a little more serious ranching.
Cattle or?
Yeah, cattle.
Okay.
About 5,000 head.
Okay.
And there's another one of those fun lives. I mean, but it's work. A lot of work. And but there's days that you go. I love people. Okay, I'm sure we'll talk more about that. But there are days you're like, man, just give me some cows.
Yeah. It's funny. When I was in college, I worked on a thoroughbred ranch. So I worked with racehorses. And when I say I worked with racehorses, I cleaned up the shit in the stall.
Right. Yeah.
that was my job.
Somebody's got to do that.
Yeah.
Right?
But I mean, and I fought forest fire for 6 years and all that stuff. But there are definitely days where it's like just to get on the tractor,
Yep.
drive it over, muck the shit out of the stall, drive it up, dump it out, you know, and you just, I'm going to say it's a methodical thing, but it's really, you're just in your head and you're just, I'm sure I was having conversations over and over about different things, but it was nice.
The other days you want to be on the tractors cutting that huge hay field that's going to take all day. You know?
Yeah.
And you're just in your own head all day. It's nice.
Just going and going. And bowling.
Yep.
So tell me about bowling. When did you get into bowling?
Well, when
was there a bowling alley that was like the hangout?
I was a bowling brat. My parents both bowled. At one point, managed and/or owned 3 bowling alleys.
Really?
In East Texas. And
you or your parents?
Parents.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, you know, always in there. And then just in doing that, finally drill up your own ball one day. I was little. I couldn't tell you the age. And got into it because I was in a bowling alley all the time. And then my dad, this was in Mount Pleasant, they would, well, even in Paris, but, you know, they'd lock the doors and start gambling. And they'd let you know, you don't get out until
we're done.
Yeah, we're done. You're locked in here, you're locked in.
Wow.
And you didn't have computers then to keep the score. They paid somebody like some 10%.
Yeah.
It didn't matter what the pot was. If it was $10, I got $1. If it was $100, I got 10.
Wow.
You know, so you just keep score. And that's when, you know, it gets in. You're like, wow, I can play. I'm not bowling for money.
Yeah.
And then you get in leagues, and then you start doing that. Had opportunity and chances to go bowl some bigger and better things. Chased it around for a while.
Really?
Yeah. And it was a blast. Got to bowl. I feel like I was kind of sandwiched between some eras in that my heroes in bowling were obviously before me, and then some of them that are bowling now, I'm like, gosh, I wish I was doing it now and bowling with them.
Yeah.
But I got to bowl with some great folks and do a lot of travel with it. And
that's cool.
So it was fun. It's a good time. It's I think it's like anything that you get into and get good at becomes very enjoyable.
Yeah.
I still don't know why I enjoy golf. I'm not good at it, but I enjoy getting out there.
It's always tomorrow.
Yeah, right.
You know, it's like
always.
I there is this thing, like, I feel like I should play better than I play, and I'm just like, and then you hit good shots, a couple good shots, and you're like, okay, I'm pretty good at this. You know, it's like, it feels good. Man, I would love to I'd love to string together my long game, my mid game, and my short game.
Yeah, but you'll be ready to never going to play again, and then you get that birdie.
Yeah, you know, I'll get a hole in one. That'll be my thing. Like, I've been playing since I was, 15, 16, I think. Never hit a hole in one. I've come close, but never hit a hole in one.
I've come close. I've played for about as long. And I haven't got there yet.
No, it's like something about par threes, you get on them and you can't hit a wedge.
Yeah, right.
You know, a short iron. It's like, come on. So
if I get mad, I'm getting beat down on the course. I'll just start talking about, we'll go bowling. I bowled 300s. I don't have a hole in one. I bowled 300s.
Yeah. that would blow me away. Like, I've never seen anybody bowl a 300. I played in a league for a little bit. Not that I'm good. I mean, I think I like average 120 or something like that. You know, it's like, 'cause I'm not good. I'll string together a couple strikes and then it's like the rest of it's just crap. But there was a guy that would bowl in the same league that I was in, younger kid, that would come out, and I feel like almost every night when we were out there bowling, he was so close. Like, he'd get down to the last couple frames, and then it's like he'd split or something.
Yeah, the nerves come in.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God. It's like everybody in the whole place is stopped and watching him, and then he'd split or something. And
you bowl at the national tournament, right? And it's the largest bowling tournament the world has. It's an amateur tournament. Mm-hmm. Pros can get in. You can have up to 2 pros on a team.
Okay.
But it rotates to different convention centers, but once every 3 years, I think it is. There's only one bowling stadium in the world that's in Reno.
Oh, okay.
And so it goes through there every 3rd year. But when you get up there, if you get your front 9 strikes, you're in a stadium, and there's 100+ lanes. They stop everybody, set cameras up.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, you're already...
Talk about the nerves. Yeah, it's like, oh, yeah. You know, it's already bad enough that I'm going to gutter ball this thing. You bring all these people around. Yeah, I'm definitely gutter balling. So
yeah, it's crazy. It's fun.
That's insane. How long did you bowl? Or, I mean, I'm assuming you still bowl.
I haven't thrown a competitive ball in years.
Okay.
As far as really getting out and being competitive, I had 2 different breaks in that. I bowled for a while when I was in my 20s, and probably most success then.
Okay.
And, travel and, getting to win some tournaments and things. And then moved to Athens. I can't even tell you. I was probably a 5 to 7 year where I didn't bowl. And then just one day I was driving by the bowling alley, decided to pull in. And then there I was back at bowling.
That's like me in golf. I didn't play for over 10 years, probably.
Oh, yeah?
And then I joined APN.
Right.
And it's like all of a sudden I'm golfing every third day.
Yeah,
Like all of a sudden it's like it's back in my blood. Yeah, no, it was crazy. I mean, I literally just stopped playing golf for the longest time, and then all of a sudden I picked it up again. So what in the bowling world, we'll stay there for a second. What made you get out of it? Was you just burned out? Were you just...
This episode of Above and Beyond is brought to you by the amazing sponsors who help bring this show to life. A heartfelt thank you to Above Par Network, elevating connections and creating impact. Foundation Insurance Services, protecting what matters most with confidence and care. Meritum Credit Card Processing, empowering businesses through expert consulting and unwavering support. And Rocks Ink Calligraphy, bringing beauty and personal flair to every handwritten detail. We're proud to partner with these outstanding businesses who share our passion for excellence. For more about our sponsors and exclusive podcast content, visit abovebeyondpodcast.com.
Maybe a little, but also it wasn't a real conducive lifestyle for a marriage and 2 little kids.
Makes sense.
It just wasn't. I
Yeah.
mean, you're on the road, you're traveling, you're if you're not traveling, you're the local center, because I mean, you're not gonna maintain a very good game and stay at the top of your level bowling less than 100 games a week. Mm-hmm. So you're going a lot, and they kind of did that.
Yeah.
And gosh, I went out, and it's so frustrating because I don't know what else to compare it to, because I'm not good enough at golf that my clubs matter a ton, but it's frustrating to go out anymore when you don't have your own equipment and, your own everything.
Yeah.
And we went just recently, and I mean, it was horrible. I'm getting beat by everybody.
Yeah.
But, you're used to getting up there and being able to do a certain thing, and those the house balls don't do it, and then you're like, I'll drink another beer, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. I always, anyways. Again, I like to think I'm better at things than I really am. Get lucky every now and then, have a great shot, and then it's like, I don't know. But you were married for 25 years.
Right.
Okay. In that, what were you doing for work in that time? You were at the Recruiter at that point?
I've done some, no.
Just kind of all over.
Like
You
I
were the
say,
ranching.
I've done, I did that
Bowling.
at that time. Gosh, I was a PT tech, because at one time I thought I was going to be a physical therapist. Got into the restaurant world, like I say.
Your life sounds like mine.
It
Never been able to decide.
right, it's all over. But what I did for the longest was vocational ministry,
Oh, okay.
and youth and mostly youth, but a youth and family pastor.
Okay. Are you still doing that now?
No, actually, looking at me and another friend from at Cigar Lounge I go to, I started a couple cigar churches.
Oh, interesting.
And, we started it back in Texas, in Allen, Texas, at a lounge we frequented there. And 3 of us got together. I want to say it's 3 of us started, Travis, Steve Harpo, myself. There may be one more in there at the time, actually. And we just said, we're going to meet on Saturday mornings. I think we did 1st, 3rd, and 5th if it came up.
Gotcha.
Saturday mornings. And it was men only.
Okay.
We took a little heat on that for a minute. But
no offense to the women out there, but it's crazy to me, and I'll say this because nobody does.
Yeah.
You can have women's book club, and
Right.
nobody shakes a fist at it. You say, I'm going to have a men's book club, and everybody's up in roar.
yeah, well,
Like, wait a second.
my deal, our take on it was this. We wanted to get men to open up, talk. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, we had some serious, we started having, 20 plus people there.
Wow.
And, I mean, men in tears, men angry, men healing. And one woman walk in the building.
Just shut it off.
Shut it down. Just tight-lipped. Just pride. Not saying it's the woman, was the woman's fault.
No, yeah.
Pride, whatever.
Well, I think it's society, though, a little bit. It's an expectation. I think about myself. I'm quite an emotional person, and within my realm, it comes out. there are definitely places where it's like it starts to come out, I'm disappearing. It's like I'm like, okay, I got to remove myself from this situation because I can't allow this to happen.
Yeah.
But,
And so, where that ended, I was, like I told you before we even started talking this evening, you probably knew it anyway. I'm open book. It's funny. I expect a lot of people to tell me, as talking about being here, oh yeah, mention this, say this. No, it was all. Don't bring this up. Don't bring that. Don't say that about yourself. But when it says open book, the church knew that I drank.
Yeah.
They knew that I like to gamble. I miss more on the bowling side is the hustle of the game, the fun of it, because it's fun to have $5 or whatever down.
Yeah.
On something, and that I always enjoyed that. And I was going to the what we in Texas had this thing called the Youth Evangelism Conference.
Okay.
And at the same time, the church I was at, they were doing these hot topic nights, and you'd pick your topic. I don't care, just some hot topic out there in society.
Yeah.
And I was going to be going because I'm going to be going to this conference, and it wasn't really brought up. Everybody knew that Brother Steve was bowling out up there gambling, drinking, whatever, and they were going to cover drinking and gambling, and I was going to be gone. And so I'm like, if we're going to have that topic to discuss as a church, obviously I need to be here.
Yeah.
And then finally, after some conversations, but no, okay, we won't do it. And lo and behold, they did it while I was gone. And the general consensus, it's not like they were making any laws or anything, or church rules, but the general consensus is that was wrong, so I resigned. And I'm like, I'm a hypocrite if I stay here after you having that conversation, and you're a hypocrite if you give me another check.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But still love the ministry. Love, like I say, we'll get the Cigar Church up and going at some point.
I think, it's crazy. I'm sitting here, and we could go down this whole theological road of whatever, but I feel like from a perception perspective, I guess, people need to be met where they're at.
They have to be.
And sometimes it's in that situation. I mean, we're sitting here having a cocktail right now. I don't think that's a bad thing. There's times where I think, maybe I should stop drinking. None of it ever is because of my faith.
Right.
It's usually because it'd probably be good for my health or something like that. But I don't know. I mean, and I don't profess to know the Bible inside and out. But it's like, okay, well, does that make you a bad person and somebody could take out of the Old Testament and say, okay, well, it says this or whatever. But I just feel like it's like, man, and I look at people like Jelly Roll right now, who is just on fire. And him, I'll say, preaching the gospel in his way.
No, he is. He totally is.
But being able to meet people where they're at in that moment, you never know when it's going to shine the light, right? And so that it's sad for me, I guess, in a way, to hear you say that, because I've somewhat been in that situation and watched a church pull away for reasons where you're like, when you need them the most, that's when you get pushed out almost, and it's frustrating. Anyways,
No, it's funny you say that, because that was always my thing. I always said we have to meet people where they're at, and the reason I was had the success I had in the youth ministry was I just started going to school lunches 2 days a week. There were so many rules about what you could show up with, what you couldn't do, all that. I wasn't there to do anything but sit and have lunch with them.
Yeah, and
I met them on their turf.
Yep,
and all of a sudden, they'll come to the church. They would come out on Wednesday nights, for that, and they would come to where you were.
Yeah,
it's like you went to where they were. You met them where they're at. And I didn't preach at the school. I didn't,
No.
I didn't do anything. And just.
But you were available for conversation.
Available, right?
And you probably at some level were very relatable to them. Because you weren't a judging. I feel like sometimes in the church world, we'll say, there's a lot of judgmental air.
I got, and when I was at this particular church I was at, I got at a rough. People were scared of our youth group. I mean, because I went, I had, meet them where they're at and love the unlovable. That's what I always said.
Yeah.
And I did have some rough kids.
Yeah.
And but I wouldn't try. I wanted them.
Yeah.
It's the ones I wanted. And so it's what I got, and there's still some today that have the relationships with.
Well, and I was just going to say that, because I mean that you think about it, and I asked the question earlier, anybody have impact on your life at some point? You said your dad, but of those kids, I mean, you may be that to them, right? Be able to be a positive light, a influence, whatever it is, to be able to say, okay, well, I'm going to make this decision because Steve may be watching, or not necessarily even Steve may be watching, but there's this whole thing where now all of a sudden we get what type of impact, what type of influence have you had on those kids that you don't even know about, or that you do know about, that would just be, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think we do need to be less judgmental, although it's very easy sometimes when you see people.
Yeah, I drove a church van around. We even got a bus at one point, and because I would drove all around this big area picking kids up. And I remember when I totally changed my thought on, because I was the church. I mean, me and the pastor was talking about it one day. He's like, man, we're spending a lot of money on gas and with kids that are living right beside this Baptist church in this town, And I said, that is fair. And they could be more active if they were right there. And I went out to this particular church, and I met the youth minister and said, I've got these two kids that are coming to my youth group. They could walk to here.
Yeah.
And a youth minister said, yeah, they came here. They don't really fit in with our kids. And, that's when I said, I said, you know what? You're probably right.
Yeah.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
I'll just keep coming and getting them. And, so like I said, I had some rough kids, but
yeah.
I don't know why I was drawn to that. I was just drawn to that.
Yeah. Well, and again, if you can speak to them, and sometimes I think we want to be able to fix, right?
Right.
Or be influential, that sort of thing. So, well, I commend you for that. And I do that. I mean, I think that's awesome. And so you're working on starting another Cigar Church?
Cigar Church, yeah.
Okay.
We're working on doing that, and you'll know when it comes up. Do it like we didn't, we didn't really. We had some structure around it, planned. Hey, here's what here's the verses we'll cover today.
Yeah.
And then it's just listen to men talk about what's going on in life.
I think sometimes you need that. I mean, it's funny because I've seen on Instagram lately, and I don't know if it's all of a sudden it's reading my mind or something I've looked at, but you start seeing stuff where it's like the quiet man not necessarily is the strongest man, and those types of things. It's like just there's things where I think from a perception perspective, society has a certain view of what a man should be, and some of that has shifted over time.
First, it's changed a little bit.
Yeah, but to be able to then, take that and say, okay, well, I can't be soft, but then you want me to be soft, but then I've got to be, I can't show fear, but I need to show fear. It's like, how do you balance all of this stuff? How do you deal with it without completely freaking out?
Right. Yeah. Get it.
Do you mind talking about your first marriage and kind of where that went? I mean, what happened there? Do you have any problem talking about it?
I have zero problem talking about it. Her name was.
She's
Still around. Her name is still Tyan. And but I'll sum it up like I did. This poor kid got on a plane with me one time. I used to travel a lot business wise, and I shouldn't say kid, but much younger than I. He was very excited. He proposed, and she said yes, and he just wanted to tell me about that exciting moment. I don't know why I was in the moment that I was in.
Yeah. And
I said, well, listen, let me tell you what's going to happen. If you don't watch for it, here's what's going to happen. I said, you're gonna get married. It's going to be happy. It's going to be wonderful, and then you're going to start trying to have the nice house, the nice car, the two kids. You're going to be distracted from everything.
Yeah. And
then for 18 years, you're going to raise those kids. You're going to try to buy the better house and the better car. And then all of a sudden, those kids are going to leave the house, and you're going to sit across the table and go, I don't know you.
Yeah.
And I always say we didn't play well together. I mean, we had some great times.
Yeah.
But we didn't play well together. And I work hard, but also play hard.
Gotcha.
And that's, I think ultimately that's what it was for me.
Yeah.
Like I say, we get along now. We talk well now. We really always have. And just when I say that, one thing Trish and I do, we play very well together.
That's good.
We have a blast.
That's
we
awesome.
play well together. And I always say we can. It's easy to get busy building an empire and destroy a home.
Yeah, totally.
And that's what I was. That's the mode I was in. Building the empire.
Yeah,
having the right job, doing the right thing.
Yeah, I was the same. When I was younger, it's interesting because I think about my whole focus when I was in my first marriage and not whole focus, but you get into that rat race. And for me, it was always, my parents didn't have a lot of money. My dad was a teacher. My mom worked basically, we'll say minimum wage jobs, but they weren't. I mean, she didn't have her degree,
Right.
but she worked in professional jobs. She worked in the school for a while. She worked at physical therapy for a while, but never really, we never had a lot of money. So my growing up, after I was like, I'm always going to be able to give my kids more, right? Give my kids more. Not necessarily from an emotional perspective, but, the whole stuff.
We want our kids to be what we call better than what we
Right.
were.
I mean, I never had a video game growing up. Well, I shouldn't say never. When everybody had the Ataris and that stuff, I didn't, so that was my thing. Like, okay, my kids are going to have that stuff. They're not going to have to want. But then I traveled a ton, and yeah, I mean, it's one thing leads to the other, leads to the other, leads to the other, and pretty soon you're like, yeah, I'd love to not do what I'm doing anymore, but I'm stuck because whatever.
Right. Yeah. Put ourselves there. Yeah.
Yeah. So, was there a point in time in your life where you've gotten to that? I mean, you started the business. You left the accounting agent, or not accounting, the recruiting agency that you were with. Mm-hmm. Did you leave them to start your own?
Well, I was told in July or August that my job was going to be ending, and she said, "I just want to let you know," because they were just reorganizing, doing some different things, right? And so I had some ramp up time while I was still working there, and to start Recruiter Pro.
Okay.
So yeah, it wasn't just a snap off and and on. At that time, I was like, gosh, I don't want anyone being able to come in and have that conversation with me again.
Yeah.
I want to have something that I'm in control. That conversation doesn't happen. If something fails or something gets tight or there's a hard time, it's because I was in control. And now a few recruiters, and Trisha really do Recruiter Pro 360.
Okay.
Because she had a corporate gig at the time when I was doing that, right? And probably one of the best recruiters, especially recruiting managers. I mean, she's amazing. But she wasn't digging the corporate thing at the time, right?
Gotcha.
And it was just out of the blue, one of those days, I had a friend that I worked with at IBM. He just calls. He says, "What are you doing?" I said, "Working." "What are you doing?" He said, "No, I mean, what are you doing?" I told him I still have Recruiter Pro. Still, it's going and doing fine with it. And he said, "Well, I'm with the company now," because he knew I was at a point that, we all need a paycheck. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But if I was going to go do something else, it was going to have to be a culture I wanted to work in.
Yeah.
And but it worked out that it was the timing. She was leaving where she was at. She wanted to get out of the corporate thing, and she took over the operations, if you will, of Recruiter Pro 360.
Gotcha.
And I started working for TE Connectivity Work now, and it has been. It is a great culture. And then when those work hours are over, or it's the weekend, or whatever, I obviously represent. We go around, with our networking, represent Recruiter Pro.
Yeah.
But
they're both recruiting agents, or where you work, and then obviously your business is a recruiting agency.
Yeah, TE Connectivity is a manufacturing.
Okay.
Connectors, sensors, relays. They have a huge footprint, 100,000 employees, global, and so I'm the talent acquisition manager for that.
Yeah.
So it's a good time.
Yeah.
it's a lot,
Busy.
but it's that culture I was looking for.
That's
and
awesome.
If I was going to get back into corporate,
Do you have to do much travel with them?
no, some, but no, not as much as I have in the past. No.
Have you ever gotten to a point in your life throughout your career where things have happened where you're just like, I'm just done. I want to check out.
Yeah, I've burned out. It's easy. Right now, we're going to go through a lull. Mm-hmm. People don't hire right now. Everybody's going to Christmas parties and doing all their things. They're out for 2 weeks, using up their PTO. I can guarantee you in February, you're going to see me tired a few times. Because we just go gangbusters with.
Do you?
Recruiter Pro will people start hiring, looking, want people to have new budgets, all that. TE is going to take off. We'll start hiring like mad. It'll be busy, and yes.
So do you have in that world, because I'm not super familiar with it, do you have like specific contracts? So let's say if I was in the health industry doing recruiting, I would have a contract with, like, let's say Banner Health or something like that. And so when they need people, they come to you, hey, we're looking for these 3 people? Or do you have to go out and find the jobs that people are looking for and then find the people that are looking for those jobs?
Yeah, we have some good fortune here, okay, in that, one, Tricia has a over 20-year relationship that they partner, and that relationship has quite a bit of business, and so we do that. But yes, then we have just last week, I want to say it was last week, there was a contact through APN. We've hired a nurse for them, and now they're looking, just give a call. Hey, I need a palliative care doc.
Oh, nice.
And so yeah, that's a lot of what it is.
Yeah.
And there's just different structures, different way of doing things. And we're even looking to evolve even a little more. So the norm is, hey, you tell me I need an engineer, I need a doctor, I need a nurse, I need a whatever. And you just have a contract, 25% of their salary.
Gotcha.
The first year salary, boom, paid, done. But we've also catered some things to people's like, I can't just hit with a $30,000-$40,000 fee.
Yeah.
What can you do? And I say, we'll just draw this out month over month, and guarantee X amount of months, and we just do that for them. So we're looking at different packages.
Is all of the hiring that you do, or all of the recruiting that you do, for long-term placement, or do you do short-term placement stuff too?
We've pretty much kept it long-term. Just
okay.
When you get on the short-term side of things, you're kind of managing those people. And,
okay.
And for people, because there's plenty of folks out there that do that. You need somebody for 90 days, or you need somebody for 180 days, or you just do some part-time, don't know when the contract's going to end. They'll do that, but it's a whole different beast. It's not better, it's not worse. It's just different. And we're usually get the hire, go on to the next hire.
Gotcha. Going from corporate to being an entrepreneur, or back the other direction, because you've now done both.
Right.
I would still consider you an entrepreneur because you still have the business with Tricia, but obviously you've gone back to work. Was there anything in that time period where you had to either forget something and retrain yourself how to do things, or where you had to unlearn how you were doing stuff in order to make it successful on the other side?
Yeah, if you go to which direction here, if you're saying going from corporate into your own world, right? It's a different discipline, a little different mentality, because you're going to eat what you kill, and
every day.
Every day, every day, and so it. I don't know. It affects you differently. I don't know how much different I did the work, but it was different when you're going in to manage a team, and you're getting paid in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I don't think I approach them a whole lot differently, minus the fact that when I look at TE, my clients are internal folks. We work for the same company, and so you get a little more liberty and leeway than you do when your client XYZ out here, and you may address things a little differently because you're keeping it. You keep it where they want to be. You don't get as bold. I mean, I can get pretty bold at TE. I've got some leadway to.
I can imagine.
I guess some leadway. So, well, no, this is my job, and this is what I do here, and you're not paying attention to what we're doing here. I'm just going to close your rack. Yeah. Well, you don't do that out there when it's your own business. You handle that a little differently.
Right. Yeah, for sure. How do you get yourself to continue to show up when you don't want to?
Gosh, this is going to be a horrible answer, but I don't really get there. I'm serious. It's weird. I have fun. I just have fun. I won't. The day I don't have fun doing something is the day I won't be in it.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to think time that I was like, I just don't want to show up to work today. I just don't want to be there. But that was the whole reason. But when I told my friend, his name Quan, when I told him, I said, I'm not going to work somewhere unless I just love the culture. He said, you're going to love it here. And, I do. I've built a team that it's a very diverse, in work approach. And, if I need someone for this, I know where to plug them in. But, other than the sheer necessity, but like I say, I don't really get there. And I don't mean to, I'm not trying to skirt a question. I really don't get there.
No, that's good. I mean, I think that is a testament to the fact that you're doing something that you love to do.
Yeah, it like I say, nobody ever. I haven't met them yet anyway. You
Yeah.
know, that was in the 7th grade. And,
Yeah.
when they're deciding what they want to be. Astronaut, recruiter. I don't think anybody ever said recruiter.
I don't think anybody ever said insurance either. Like, yeah, okay about that. So, what would you say is one misconception that people have about working for a corporation versus owning your own business?
The misconception, one, that that they think when you own your own business you don't have a boss. Yes, you do. You got a lot of them, and it's not. It's not the ramifications of I'm just not going to work today. It's even worse. I think it's even more crucial in when it's your business.
Yeah.
I mean, because you're trying to maintain relationship, reputation, and you got to keep the pipeline. You got to keep the flow coming in.
Yeah.
And so the misconception there, I think, is yes. Is there freedom to having yes, of course there's freedom that you don't necessarily have on the corporate side, but it's not I'm just not going to work this day here, this day here, this day here. I say that you could do that. I don't think you're going to last long.
Yeah.
But there's that. I'm trying to think on the misconception. I guess if I was going, the other direction is that you can't have freedom in a corporate gig, because I do. I haven't. I mean, I've had to build it.
Yeah.
I've hired the team I wanted to hire. I put the pieces in the place I want it to be, and you get the machine in motion.
Yeah.
You can make your freedom in either. You can
Yeah.
make your freedom in a corporate gig, and if you can't, you may not have found the right corporation.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
And I think sometimes too, just my own perception looking back on my life and going from corporate to being an entrepreneur, business owner, there are definitely times where I'm like, God, it'd be so much easier just go back to work for somebody, right?
Oh yeah, totally.
And you talking about freedom, there's the guardrails, I guess, if you will, are a lot closer, right, than when you're an entrepreneur. But if you can learn to live within those guardrails, there's something to be said about show up at 9, go home at 5, and you don't have to worry about where the paycheck's coming from in 2 weeks.
There is. Yeah.
It's like, do your job, shut up, sit down, and be a part of it and be good. But so talk to me a little bit about Hot Tub Thoughts. And this is for those that don't know, this is just a Facebook thing. I mean, you've got some posts for Hot Tub Thoughts. So I don't know what you're calling them now, but it could be a viral thing. I mean,
I always said deep thoughts from the hot tub, right?
There you
So
go.
I can't even remember. I'm sure I had a couple of these one night, and just it's fun. And I've caught hell about it. I've had, oh man, I love you doing that. That's fun. You get the comments, and I never have a relationship, spend a time, have a conversation like we're having now, that I'm not looking to draw some or get some value out of.
Yeah.
And when I do that, I'm just having a conversation. It just happens to be with social media, trying to put some value in there.
Yeah.
And then you'll always get some comments back, that you draw value from.
Yeah.
It was really funny because, when I remember the first time I didn't post it, and I'm reading it the next day, I'm like, oh, that's kind of cheesy, man. And then you're getting texts. I get texts, I get phone calls. I'll see people say, I just love those thoughts you do with the hot tub.
That's
I'm
funny.
like, this is funny, man. I just, it was kind of just a weird thing at first.
Yeah.
And now, just every now and then, I'll just
Pop something out.
pop something out. It's fun.
That's awesome.
It's just fun. It's a shtick a little bit.
Yeah.
It's also fun.
Yeah. If you had advice for your 13-year-old self, what would you give yourself advice on?
Yeah, I stole this, so a long time ago, and from a stand-up comedian, of all people. But it's finish what you start. And that was it was Ron White. I mean, he was talking about his relationship with Dr. Phil.
Oh, okay.
And that was mentioned in there, and he made a big punchline out of it. Finish what you start. It's such a simple few words.
Yeah.
But if I look at any disappointments in life or successes in life, it usually comes down to, did you finish what you started or not? And so I don't know, that's kind of my thing.
Yeah.
You already saw, the one liner there in the bio.
Yeah. Where did that come from? That's interesting.
A country song.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a country
Oh,
song.
okay.
I forget who sings it, but maybe not always to Trisha's chagrin, right? I mean, I live.
Yeah.
I enjoy it, and You know, I'd rather take, it says I'd rather take years off my life than life off my years. I mean, I say work hard, play hard, and sometimes that's that can be good and bad.
Yeah.
I just enjoy it. I remember a manager that I had when I was working through college. I worked at a pizza place, Mazio's Pizza, and my manager at the time, he's like, I was a busboy. I was just doing dishes, and I was running the dishwasher and busting tables. And he's like, I've never seen anybody have so much fun busting tables and washing dishes. If I'm going to do it, have fun at it. This is probably one of those things that somebody gave me advice not to talk about on this, right? But I got in a little trouble one time and had to do some community service for it, right?
Okay.
And that community service so many hours at the animal shelter.
Okay.
And I had a blast, man. I mean, we're cleaning shit out of the dog kennels and feeding, and getting barked at half the time, scratched by a cat, whatever. But I had to be there for 8 hours that day.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? You're going to enjoy it one way or another. And I remember we were halfway through the day. Did this on Saturdays, right? So I was halfway through it, and the lady comes up and she says, "Hey, your hours are up. You're done. You can go home." I said, "But I was just reorganizing that shed. I kind of want to finish that. Do you mind if I just finish the day?" She said, "You're the weirdest person I've ever had at community service, man." She said, "You always have a good time.
Awesome.
You enjoy it. Yeah, please finish the shed."
That's so cool.
I came back the next day because I had a cat there that was really sick. I wanted to rescue this cat. And she's like, "Are you just trying to come back now?" I said, "No, I just came to get the cat. I'm good." So
That's so cool. That's so cool. That's awesome. What does successful look like for you? Have you gotten there?
I'm having it.
Okay.
If that makes sense. I don't want to stop having it.
Yeah.
But I'm having it. And I answer it that way because I don't want anybody to ever think, or anybody think that, okay, I had success. Done.
Yeah. I reached that goal.
Yeah. I'm having success. I want to keep having success.
That's awesome.
Love my life.
Yep.
I could, we've talked about work some. I've talked about Tricia and I, and we work a lot. We work hard. But as you know, we played together some, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
we play together well, as I said before, and so success is getting there, and we're I wake up, I'm ready for the day. I mean, I want that. I don't have a dollar figure on success.
Mm-hmm.
I've had money, I've not had money, and I've been happy. My dad used to say that I could go to town with $5. I'd go to town with $5. You can tell I grew up out in the country, didn't say go to town. You know what I mean? So he said you'd come back broke and happy as you could be. I could send you to town with $500. You'd come back broke and happy as you can be.
Yeah.
And so I mean, it's just so success for me. You mentioned it a while ago. I enjoy what I'm doing. I'm in a wonderful relationship. I just get up every day ready to go.
That's awesome.
And I have fun.
I've been told I say awesome too much, and now every time I say that's awesome, I think I gotta stop. I gotta find a different word.
Oh yeah. So what's bad? A friend of Tricia and I, she always says she hates that word, so she's gonna watch this and go, "Man, that guy said awesome a lot."
Yeah, it's driving me crazy now because it's been brought to the front of my mind, and it's like I got to think of something else. Talk to me about Recruiter Pro 360.
Okay.
What industries do you guys work in mostly? And how can the podcast or listeners help you with the business?
Yeah, so like I say, I can't think of anything. Not everybody has this opinion in the recruiting world, by the way. Okay, I'd probably say that more don't have this opinion than do. I feel like if you can recruit for one thing, you can recruit for anything.
Gotcha.
That is not a well accepted comment made in the world that think, no, you're a great clinician recruiter, or you're a great engineering recruiter, or you're a great, whatever. But what we've done most of is, we've done a lot of healthcare.
Okay.
Nursing primarily. We've got the doctor we're looking for right now, as I told you. Anybody got a palliative care out there? And because of that relationship that Tricia's had for over 20 years,
Gotcha.
Her bestie even, do a lot of solid waste. And so we've got that. Gosh, we've had insurance. Like I say, we'll pick up, we'll give it a try. And I can't ever think that of a time that I was like, oh my gosh, I just can't recruit for this. So, but the thing I would say to put out there is, people think with what we do that it's automatically that big giant fee. I was telling you about. we've worked out many things with folks that, like, if I can't afford to do that, well, yeah, let's talk.
Gotcha.
There's ways to work it around. My job's like yours, like the doctor out there, like, whatever. There's a cost of doing business, of course, but there's also ways to do it that can be attainable for whatever the situation is. And like I say, our wheelhouse is obviously just finding the people. Okay, but we've done a lot of branding. Maybe a little strong. Tricia would kick me for saying that. Don't tell people we're branding for them. But the more you can, marketing and recruitment marketing are two different things.
Okay.
And so the more you can do to repeat and look alike, what I mean is, does your application look like your website, and your application and website look like are they seeing it everywhere? I mean, it's like, when you're walking, somebody walks through the puddle and got the Nike swoosh on the bottom, and it's Nike. You're seeing that. It's the same thing. And so we'll consult with folks in that way to say, hey, what can we do to make your brand be all over everything you're doing?
Yeah.
And then we've also, that resume you give someone is your first impression with them. And we've had a lot of success.
Are resumes changing? I mean, from what they were when we grew up with the one-page.
I think they have. Like I say, there'll be differing opinions on that. And, a lot of people just want to give you their LinkedIn profile. Their not profile, their link.
Yeah.
Their LinkedIn link. They'll do that. But everybody that's hiring at this point, most hiring managers now come from a certain generation. They've worked years to get there. So I think most still want to see that resume. I don't think people get hung up on the whole one-pager thing. That was a thing for a while.
Yeah. Don't put it on. Don't have a backside. Don't have a second page.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Do you want to be quick? Yeah. But you also get everything up the top. Be succinct. This is what I do. This is this what then spill out where I was at when I did it. But you got to catch them, because I'm gonna tell you, I don't care if they're a VP and the smartest and whatever, they get bored too. And that first paragraph's huge.
Yeah.
And so we can help with that. I mean, we don't just hire people. We also help candidates that are here for people.
Trying to get better.
Yeah, just trying to get better what to do.
How do people find you?
There's a ton of word of mouth.
Okay.
A ton of word of mouth. But we're on LinkedIn. We're on Facebook.
And it's Recruiter Pro 360. Okay.
And we have the website, recruiterpro360.com.
Okay.
But like I say, you can find us on LinkedIn. You can find us on Facebook.
Okay.
We're there.
If you had to motivate a gym full of 18-year-old kids.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
You had 30 seconds.
Wow. First of all, it's 18-year-old kids, and now it's only 30 seconds.
30 seconds. They got short attention span.
Yeah, they do.
What are you saying to them?
That's a good one, man. You did the zinger. Man, you took a while. Got to the zinger, huh? 18-year-olds, and I'm trying not to be old here, thinking about
how long ago that was.
Generation.
Yeah.
But I think 18-year-olds now want to hear what they can do different to make it. They don't. I think education is going a little bit pushed to the side. A lot more skills based versus experience based. So if I'm going to motivate a gym full of 18-year-olds, I'm going to lay out for them a path for their skills, and not having to do it through a degree program and plan. And I just don't think, I think we're headed away from it. And educational institutions have been powerful financial institutions is what they've been.
Yeah.
And it's finally happening. There's a wave of more and more of managers coming around to saying, okay, I'll take Mary over here with 18 years of hands-on experience versus, Bob had just walked out and he got a piece of paper when he's done. So if I was going to motivate them, I would try to come up with that thing, and I don't know what that is right now. I would try to come up with that thing that says, okay, here's what you can do to be successful and be successful now, because you mentioned it. They're bored. That they get bored just like that. And when I was in the youth ministry and dealt with 18-year-olds, it's a whole lot different than 18-year-olds today. Yeah. Just in that they want it, and they want it now. It's got to be instant. So if you're going to motivate them, you've got, like you said, you got 30 seconds, and you got to tell them what success is, what it looks like, and how they can be. Yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, I've enjoyed our conversation. That was a great time. Anything you'd like to share that I may not have asked you that you expected to share with me that oh, that's funny because, you do driving here, I really didn't do it till I got in the car driving here. I'm like, okay, what's the one? What's the one that's going to get me?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I feel like I like covering, Recruiter Pro. Thank you. Got to do that. But just going down, life and, why you're where you're at. I told you, that, folks were like, maybe don't mention this, maybe, or, whatever. And I just, when I told you I'm an open book, I'm an open book that may sometimes make someone uncomfortable around me.
It's just, I feel like as I've gotten older, I've swayed more that direction.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to say I don't care. I obviously care. I care about people. I want everybody to feel accepted and welcome and whatever. But I've gotten to the point where it's like, if I say something that bothers you or offends you.
Yeah. Example. Okay. You're talking about the hot tub, right?
Yeah.
I was sitting there and something just sparked me. And I made the worst comment. I mean, it was the worst comment.
Oh, no.
It was late at night. I'd been out, probably had just a couple drinks before I got in the hot tub kind of thing. It was a horrible comment. Oh, man, it was a horrible post. And when you're sitting the next day, you're taking it down as fast as you can take it down.
Right. It's already in the...
You've already got people commenting on, wow, that was hard. You're like, oh, my gosh, But so it's not that I don't care. So obviously I care, or that wouldn't bother. But no, I'm with you. As you get a little older, you do get to where when I say don't care, it's more important to get out there, who you are, what you think, and not be so swayed or knocked around.
Yeah, be bold.
Yeah, right.
So, well, hey, I appreciate it. Thank you for coming on. I do have a gift for you.
All right.
Which everybody that comes on gets a gift. So, here's your gift. We have a challenge coin that you've gone above and beyond on the podcast.
Right.
And then we have we've been using these glasses, so you get one of these glasses that actually has your name and 2025 on it. So,
well, that's awesome.
Rock's Ink Calligraphy does those for me, and I greatly appreciate it. But I appreciate you taking the time to come on and spending time with me.
Yeah, enjoy it. It's great.
So, thank you very much.
Thank you. This is Steve Alexander. I went above and beyond.
Stories we share beyond the fairways, friendships grow in APN's embrace, opportunities flow. No happy talking, just real deals, authentic connections, the kind that heals. From Palm Springs to Pine Top's Grace, APN's network spans every place. Above Par Network, we're going above and beyond, reaching new heights. In networking realms, scaling the heights. From mixers to golf, our spirits unite. APN's the beacon, our guiding light. So here's to APN, where dreams align. In every connection, a chance to shine. Above and beyond, we'll always strive. In APN's network, we truly thrive.
Like, share, and subscribe to Above and Beyond, where excellence meets elevation. Elevate your mindset, one episode at a time.